Okay, get this. I came up with something really, really good. Marketing campaign for You, Me, and Tuscany. You, Me, and AMC. Now, obviously, this would only be for AMC theaters. And also, it's too late. But I really think they could have done something with that. I guess that also could have been the alternative name for our podcast. Lots of uses for You, Me, and AMC.
I'd love a director's cut of this movie where you spend the whole time with the cab driver and you get the question answered of why it doesn't seem to matter if he makes any money at all. Hi, welcome to Medium Literate, the show where two longtime best friends try to sharpen their media literacy skills by watching a new movie in theaters each week and then having a long conversation about it. This week we're doing the movie You, Me, and Tuscany and sort of having a general state of the union around rom-coms. So if you haven't seen the movie and you want to see the movie, on this one we do a full recap. So we are spoiling basically every detail. So go see the movie. Also, we both recommend the movie strongly. So please go see the movie and support it so that we can have more rom-coms in theaters. Let's see, I gave you the spoiler warning. What's next? If you're listening to the audio, but you wonder what our faces look like while we're saying these things, you can actually watch full video episodes on our YouTube channel. So search Medium Literate on YouTube and you found it. That's us. I think that's it for now. Also just a PSA that I have a cough and it is coming up a lot in this episode. So I'm so sorry about that. I will be in perfect health next week, I'm sure. Okay, enjoy the show. Hello.
Hi. Good morning, good afternoon.
Good
night
to all of you lovers out there.
We're here to talk about love and comedy that's romantic. Have you ever heard of such a thing?
Not in quite some time.
It's true.
We saw You, Me, and Tuscany.
We did.
First thing, Emily, did you like this movie?
I thought it was very cute.
It was charming.
I did like it. It was very charming.
I found it really, really charming. I was nervous because I don't feel like I've seen a good rom-com executed in, well, I can't remember the last one.
No, totally, because I feel like the last big rom-com in theaters was like Anyone But You, and
which I did not see.
That was awful. I hated Anyone But You.
Yeah, and I'm not weighing in on the debate, but everything with Sydney Sweeney has like a weird energy to it.
No, I hate her so much.
I just want nothing to do with her. I'll watch Euphoria, I guess.
Sure. I just, even going into Anyone But You, I had seen Immaculate, and that was what really cemented me as, she is the worst actress working today.
That's interesting. Isn't that the one that people say was her good one? Or is there another horror movie that she did?
No, there's not. I think that is the one people say is her good one,
okay.
Which is bleak because she is so bad in it. Like, that was the movie where I was like, oh, she's so bad at acting that she will ruin anything she's in.
Tough stuff.
Including
tough stuff for
like
Miss Sweeney.
The Housemaid just came out, and
right.
She's in that with Amanda Seyfried, who's acting her little ass off, and then Sydney Sweeney is just so bad, and it's so funny always accidentally getting into it with straight men, if you can believe it, who are like, she wasn't that bad, you're exaggerating, and it's like, buddy, you were distracted.
Yeah, which is like fine and fair. I'm sure there are plenty of male actors that I get distracted by that I'm
Absolutely.
I'm like, I can't see objectively if they're good or not. But yeah. Well, listen, I don't want to go too deep into no one likes this lady anyway, so who cares?
It's true.
But that was the last rom-com that was like
Yes.
released into theaters that I can remember. Outside of like some indies maybe, I guess, but I don't think I even saw the indies if there were any.
Yeah, I can't think of any off the top of my head. Um,
That's what makes this movie coming out and being good such a delight.
yeah.
We've been starved for it.
Yeah, I mean like there's rom-coms are just not really something that is it's become like Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu genre
Absolutely. And
where like they're just dumped there.
I really want to really go on a tirade right now. So
Do
'cause
it.
this was the main thing I was thinking. So if you're listening or watching, you listening or watching, put the distribution executive on the phone and I need to talk to them. Rom-coms need to be released in theaters because every rom-com I've watched straight to streaming, it's a bad experience. When you're at home, you're like too aware of how stupid they are, how kind of like not funny the jokes are. And I don't think that this is like, I'm not trying to attack rom-coms, but I think at home is the wrong environment to be introduced to them. Like they can't work their way into your heart
Hmm.
if you're watching them for the first time at home. Like when I think about People We Meet on Vacation, which should have been an easy slam dunk, but if you watch it at home, it's just like, this is dumb.
Yeah.
Like, and yeah, I just feel so strongly like this movie really, really cemented that for me that I thought back at any of the streaming rom-coms I've watched and I'm like, oh, those all should have gone to theaters. It is an easy way to get people to love a rom-com. And also, I feel really frustrated with the state of like media for women that exists because what gets released in theaters is The Housemaid and Colleen Hoover adaptations. And I think that we're missing a large segment of the population who isn't like people who like the books they sell at Target, which is not a dig, but that is that genre.
Yes.
And like, I don't really like that stuff. And I'm a woman and I want to have a nice time at the movies. And my choices are always like sad boy drama movie, you know, some man's sad, some Joachim Trier story about a bad father or something, which is fine, but I'd much rather have a few rom-coms a month sprinkled in to balance it all out.
I think it's also obvious that like people want rom-coms because like
Yeah.
you said last week that some teenage girls were in your screening of the drama which it was kind of a rom-com, which I
It was
kind of want
romantic and
I
funny.
want to get into the rom-com scale in a minute. But like
Okay.
I think they probably wanted something like this.
Yes, and I hope they went to see it. Because I really thought this like nailed it in a great way.
Yeah, okay, this is kind of off topic, but it did just remind me of when I used to nanny. There was one time where the teenage girl was going to hang out with her friends for one of the friends' birthday, and
Mhm.
the birthday girl loved Timothy Chalamet so much that what she chose for them to do for her birthday was all go see Beautiful Boy in the theater. Like, that's so funny.
Whoops.
Oopsies.
But some important conversations were probably had after that. So that's good.
Um, but yeah, like my theater was full and people were like reacting. Like people were having such a good time in there.
Yeah. Yeah, my theater wasn't full, but was busier. I think living in the suburbs, my like understanding of when theaters are full or not, I mean, might be more realistic to the rest of America, but
I'm sure.
like, but it was busier than, I saw two movies yesterday, and it was certainly busier than this than the first movie I saw, which was the weird Japanese horror that I saw with four guys.
And you all
Um,
became best friends by the end of it. Those are your boys now.
yeah, I'm sure we were all logging it on Letterboxd together as a group. Um, but yeah, the theater, like the people were really into it that saw it, and it was like a really good mix of like all different types of people, all different age groups. I had like this group next to me of like 70-plus-year-old like women who were seeing it together, and like a big groups of like 30-year-olds. Like I found it very cute that like the girls all got together to finally
Yeah.
enjoy a rom-com.
Yeah, it was like a lot of groups of women and also a lot of couples. And
Yes.
as soon as it ended, I heard this one woman behind me, and I loved this. I just heard her go, I needed that.
I'm glad she got it. Yeah, it really did manage to be fun and funny. Do you want to talk about like some of the performances in it?
Yes, I first, okay, just because I feel like I'm gonna reference this. This
Okay.
made me think about rom-coms more than I have ever thought about rom-coms. Because
Sure.
I'm not really a big rom-com person. I don't necessarily
Right.
seek them out. I don't even look forward, like I wasn't necessarily looking forward to this just because it's like not, I don't look forward to rom-coms necessarily.
Right.
But I think that like this specific type of rom-com, there is something scientifically that is like a balm to the soul, where it's almost like it has the same effect on the brain as like a benzo, where it just sort of like calms everything down. Because I'm like, okay, there's like something like the drama, which is like
Yeah.
technically a rom-com, but it's like a deconstruction of the rom-com almost. It's
Yeah,
dark, it's,
that's spiking everyone's cortisol.
yes. Then there's like when I got home last night out of curiosity, I rewatched a straight to streaming rom-com that I remembered liking when it first came out, which was
Mhm.
Plus One. Did you ever
I don't think
watch
I saw
that?
that. Who's in
With
that one?
Jack Quaid and Maya Erskine?
No.
Okay. I remembered liking that one. And then that one's sort of in the middle, where it like is very much a rom-com, but still sort of like real world does reckon with like human flaws and
Yeah.
relationships and how that can be like complicated sometimes. And then there's like this, Yumi and Tuscany is to me the purest form of rom-com, where it's like it has essentially no basis in any human experience anyone's ever had in their life. And you don't have to think about what happens to relationships after the honeymoon period. You don't have to think about people holding grudges or things coming up later, or everything's just shiny and perfect and nice. And it's like that to me is the purest kind of rom-com.
Yeah, it's like completely ideal and pure fantasy
Mm.
without, but not fantasy like it's, fairies and dragons and shit, but fantasy like it's the dream of like how stuff can go perfectly. I mean, down to
Yeah.
like, I don't think that's what Italy is like.
No, it's Pixar Italy,
Yeah.
and I loved that. I feel like every great that type of rom-com has to have some bullshit event that everyone's talking about all the time. Like there's
Yes,
always like
yes.
the big baking competition or something like that. And so the fact that they kept talking about like the last day of the summer festival, I was like, yes, just letting it wash over me.
Yes,
Yes, the last day of the
soothing.
summer festival.
That sounds so important.
I bet it's
Nothing could
so
matter
important
more.
than the last day of the summer festival.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Um, I think in the first 5 minutes of the movie, so it opens with Halle Bailey. Is that how you say her name? I've never heard anyone say it out loud.
Yes.
I'm just realizing. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, waking up in this beautiful house and walking this dog and putting this. There was just like there were a few moments in that like ideal first minute where I was like, oh, am I not gonna like this? And then it was quickly revealed that that's like not, she was house sitting and wearing other people's stuff.
I felt the
And
same.
I was like, oh no. And then when it was pulled into reality, like into reality is maybe strong, closer to reality, a reality I can understand or like connect to. Then I loved it from that point on.
Yeah, because I just knew from the, the summary that like she was a chef. And so in that first few minutes, I was like, "Oh, is she going to be like, it's this is going to be the type of rom-com where it's like a high-powered workaholic woman goes to a small town and then meets a small town guy and is like uh finds the real meaning of life, which is not my fave
Yeah.
of the genre. And so then once that they very quickly pull that back, and then I was like, okay, phew.
Okay, she's a person.
Yeah.
She's a person that I can connect to. And yeah, I don't think I've ever seen anything Halle Bailey has been in before. Like
I mean,
I was aware of her.
I think the only thing she's been in, because she's like newer to acting, is The Little Mermaid.
Right, because I knew her as a musician before
Right,
that.
yeah.
Um, and I found her so precious, like so kind of. I think my only complaint would be that she reads quite young to me in a way that made
Mm.
me sometimes feel like not logically, but emotionally, I was feeling like protective of her.
I think she is like, I mean, she's in her mid 20s, but I'm like, is she like 24 or is she like 27?
I mean, she reads younger than that. Like she
She
reads like
does.
maybe 18
Yeah,
to
yeah.
me. And but I loved her styling in this. It felt, I mean, as someone who loves a big shirt over an outfit, I was like, oh, wow, I'm represented. uh and she I don't like she somehow straddled this thing where it was like she's beautiful and like ethereally beautiful, movie star beautiful, and yet felt like a real woman to me. Like she had her sneakers on, she had her big shirt on, she was just kind of like she wasn't in like $10,000 couture outfits.
Yeah, no, totally.
Which is like what happens a lot in rom-coms, right? And they got to make their money where they can. There were definitely a couple of moments in this where I was like, oh my God, the product placement is too much. Would anyone like an Aperol spritz?
Here,
You can
seem
borrow
stressed
my
out.
Maserati. I was like, okay. But very specifically during the Maserati scene, I found myself thinking, you know what? I think this is okay, like for a rom-com to just make their money how they can to
Yeah.
get it across the finish line. Like, I would rather the rom-com exist and have a 40-second car commercial in it than not exist at all, you know?
And in this day and age, what movie doesn't have a 40-second car commercial in the middle of it?
I mean, I will say that the product placement was inelegant in this one. Was like, okay. But I think that's actually an okay price to pay if it gets it across the finish line of being in a theater.
Yeah,
then I think that's fine. If it's only on streaming, no.
Get out of here. Get that fucking
No.
car out of here.
um but I loved her. I didn't find that she was given much of the comedy.
Mm.
um I feel like the comedy was mostly in the Italian people.
Yes, which I feel like for rom-coms is like pretty typical. Um, is that like the side characters are like the really, kooky ones, and so they're like,
Yeah. Well, you know, my rom-com heroine of choice is Meg Ryan. I think that has a lot to do with my specific age, and so the specific age I was when I was going to see rom-coms in theaters. And Meg Ryan was pretty much always funny, and they gave her a lot of the funny parts. But then a lot of the other one, like I think her and Julia Roberts were like set apart from everyone else in
yeah,
that sense, because a lot of the other ones that I can think of seeing throughout my life, if the girl in the movie was funny, it was because she's kind of one of the guys. You know what I mean? It was like Kate Hudson, like being like,
yeah.
I'm not drama like that. Or, they never said stuff like that. But I think of How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days as like kind of a mean version of a rom com.
I've never seen it.
It just, the energy is not good in it to me. Now, people who grew up, like, I think people who saw that one at the right age will
Hmm.
feel totally differently. But I think because I'm like so Meg Ryan, Tom Hanks pilled about rom coms, I'm like, no, everyone has to be sweet.
Yeah.
Everyone has to be a big sweetie. And they don't have to be that hot. It's better if they're not.
I mean, this one, everyone was a big sweetie for sure.
Everybody was a big sweetie and hot.
I think that because my acting takeaway was, and I don't mean this as like a negative, and it's also fine because she was up until recently just a musician. I don't think Halle Bailey is like the strongest actress in general, but I think she's good at I thought she was like good at being a Disney princess, and
Yes.
this was very Disney princess vibes. Um
Yes.
and so it's like I think she's good at that, and I think it's fine when there's someone who's just kind of like good at one specific type of acting, and you just put them in that.
Yeah, you play to their strength. And I think her strength is the sort of like wide-eyed
Yeah,
sweetness.
like I don't see her doing like a drama necessarily super well, but it's like that's okay. She's very good at just being like just kind of like beautiful and sweet and like fun
Yeah.
and
And it's like very fun to watch her do it.
yeah.
Like I was like, "Oh, I love like she's so cute and I love her and I want her to have nice things." She did in the beginning of the movie when she's just like has a chaotic life in New York City and she's like homeless at a hotel basically. That, and then she's interacting with her friend. I was thinking this type of friend would stress me the fuck out. I could not keep this person in my life.
It
They would
would
be
be
gone so
stressed.
fast.
I mean, because also I'm like, that is kind of a big ask to ask your pregnant friend to risk her job to give you a
Yeah.
room at the hotel. It's like, that's not a big ask.
And you know what? You're very sweet, but you need to know what maternity leave is. How old are you?
But it's like, it's so funny how I feel like in a lot of rom-coms, a big thing is the female protagonist being like, a little nuts and boundaryless
Yes.
because the premise is often something that is kind of insane.
Yeah.
That they have to be kind of like sweet enough that it's like forgivable.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And I liked Regé-Jean Page.
Yeah, I
Um,
think I thought that I thought for some reason, obviously I was incorrect. I must have read a different summary for a different movie. I thought he was a lawyer in this. I thought he was like a lawyer. I thought he was gonna be a lawyer who's like also like visiting Italy, like a British lawyer.
okay, I could see how that I was like, oh, just
Um,
like a small town
and I was
Italian
like,
lawyer.
ah. But so I think I thought maybe just because of his Bridgerton character, I thought he would be like grumpier. I thought it would be more like grumpy guy, sweet wide-eyed girl having a more contentious relationship.
Yeah.
And it
Well,
wasn't
that
that.
that existed for one scene, one
One
of the
scene,
scenes.
exactly one scene.
But I did find him I was watching him in this movie thinking like I'd like to watch this guy play a huge asshole. Like I'd like to watch this guy play like a tech bro, like a, tech bro CEO or something. There was something about like the way he could do those scenes where he was a little rude to
Yeah.
people that I was like, I'd like to dig deeper on this skill of his.
I mean, because he's definitely a bigger asshole in Bridgerton
Yeah.
than in this. So he clearly can do that well, but I was also surprised by how much he could do Big Sweetie well.
Yeah, he does. When he wants to, he can really make the eyes quite sad. He can really take those eyes and just make them kind of sad. And you're like, oh, give him what he wants. Help
So,
him.
I mean, and chemistry is like what makes or breaks a rom-com,
Right,
and I did think
of
they had good
course.
chemistry.
Me too. I really liked watching them together. I thought it was like very fun and like sexy in the right parts and sweet in the right parts.
Yeah.
It just, all of that stuff really worked. And as for the Italians, they were kind of all over the place in terms of like what movie everyone was in.
Yeah. They all
Like,
just like chose by themselves and just went with it.
and you know what? If there's anything I know about Italians, it's that that's sort of what they do for anything. Um,
Also, you saying sexy reminded me that an important element I forgot of this kind of rom-com is that it's like weirdly completely sexless.
yes,
Like
yes.
this purest type of rom-com, it can be like sexy. Like sometimes there'll be like a shirt off and everyone goes, "Ooh," but like no penetration.
No,
Never
and
penetration.
really no kissing until the very end
Yeah,
of the
no, like
movie.
this kind of rom-com, you just kind of are going through it and you're kind of like, okay, no one has holes, and that's good.
We are all Barbie people.
No holes. Good. Safe. Nice.
Um, Listeners, I'm sorry. I have a cough. I can't control it. Um, um, yes, I did notice that it was completely sexless, and I thought in the beginning it was quite funny that even she doesn't even, yeah, kiss that guy in the beginning. That it's like they just walk into a room together, and that's the most
Uh-huh.
hint at sex that we get. It's
Right.
like,
And it's like
uh-oh, it was considered.
and they walk in and it's a little like but then just
Yeah,
like immediately, no.
no,
That is not happening.
no. Um, I will say the most sex that came up in the movie was the extremely horny sister, who again, I loved. I loved her performance. I
I
thought she was very fun.
I thought
She
she was
was
great.
fully in a different movie than everyone else. She was going at
Yes.
a completely different wavelength than
And I loved
everybody
it.
else. But it was so charming, and it's crazy that that worked. But it so worked.
Yeah. I mean, I think it worked because like they're Italian and you're just kind of like, okay, I guess.
Yeah, I do feel like there were definitely moments where some of the Italians, I was thinking of that old racist cartoon of Italians where it's like a man walks into a kitchen with his family and goes, "Someone touch a my spaghetti." And it just ends sort of like some of these depictions of Italians feel
Well,
like a racist
you
cartoon of
know
them,
what?
but that's okay.
From what I've seen in movies, they do that. They are they do walk into the kitchen and go, "Who touched my spaghetti?"
Yeah, they don't want their spaghetti touched. So I get it.
I mean, it was funny because the woman whose house she was watching in the beginning was Nia Vardalos. Is that?
Vardalos?
Yeah, which
Yes.
I can't even tell you how obsessed I was with My Big Fat Greek Wedding as a child.
That's in my top 3 for
Wow.
rom-coms.
Yeah, I guess it would be in mine too because it was like I was obsessed. But it's like, that's another sort of like a big crazy Mediterranean family
Yes.
vibe.
Yeah, and I loved seeing her. It almost felt like a blessing on a rom-com
It did.
to be
It
blessed
felt
by one of the patron saints of
yes.
rom-comminess.
But no, the sister was great.
The
The
mom is like an Italian actress that I've seen since the 90s. I just have seen this
okay.
woman in everything.
I
Anytime there's an Italian lady.
I didn't recognize her, but she did feel like the kind of like uh beautiful but with eye bags that you can only be in like European cinema.
Yes,
You know?
absolutely. Yeah, and I mean, I can remember her in the 90s and 2000s playing like an extremely hot lady. So
I can see that.
it's funny that she's a mom now, a mom character. Um I even enjoyed, and I don't always enjoy this, I even enjoyed the character that wanted to be an influencer.
Wow.
He was funny. It
I
was
felt
kind of
I
I
felt
think
neutral on him.
putting an Italian filter on that type of character adds something to it. It's like funnier.
Yeah, I felt neutral on him. I was like I could take or leave this guy, but he didn't bother me.
Yeah, I just think he added to some of the comedy moments when it would
Hmm.
be like the sister being like big and horny about the plumber. and then and then he comes in with his camera and he's, doing the thing. I thought it like worked balanced well together, sort of like an Italian dish.
I liked I liked the little taxi driver of the tiny car. I thought he
Oh
was
yeah,
fun
he
because
was my favorite.
he was great, and also that is such a fantasy element in itself. Up there actually with fairies and unicorns, like an older man who is kind and wanting to help you and be your friend, and you're not even worried that he's trying to fuck you.
Truly.
It's like I just kept thinking that where I was like, God, this is like up there with like the romance of the rom-com where it's like, what if there was like a kind older man who was like genuinely just like there to like help you and it wasn't even on your mind like, oh God, this guy's trying to fuck me. So
I mean,
beautiful.
yeah, that is genuinely a fantasy that I've never experienced.
No. But you're like, oh man, I bet that would be so nice.
Yeah, it looks like it would be so
I'm so
nice.
happy for this character that she has this buddy who's not trying to fuck her.
I was fascinated by that I mean, first of all, love that he's always eating a sandwich. Just
Great.
good detail. I was fascinated by that character and wondering why it doesn't matter if he makes any money or not. It's like she's not paying you for any of this.
No, and I mean, I guess he had that paying customer near the
He
end.
he did have one paying customer, so that
The
was
one who
good.
piped in with something. That was cute.
Yeah. Yeah. But I loved that. I thought that cab driver and her also had like great like buddy comedy
Yeah, they were
friendship
very cute
chemistry.
together.
I loved that. I loved it.
No, it was really cute. Okay, I guess we should try to go in some sort of order so we don't miss anything. But okay, so yeah, she meets the guy, Matteo,
Yes.
and he's like he's kind of charming in like the beginning.
Yes.
And she's at the hotel. They don't hook up. He's like, I have this villa. So I'm also assuming these families are very rich.
Yeah, I was
Uh,
wondering about this town where everybody
has
doesn't
a
work and
villa.
lives in a villa.
And like a well kept up villa too. Not like an old money, but now there's no money where it's like falling apart. Like these are like
Yeah.
nice, modernized villas.
Yeah,
Um,
insane.
and he's like, I just have this empty villa. And then she's like, oh, I was gonna go to Italy with my mom. She died. So, 2 for 2 on the dead moms with the movies that Halle Bailey has been in. Because Disney Princess, obviously dead mom. That just adds to the Disney princess of it all, where it's like dead mom again.
Yeah.
So she does go to Italy. She only has $500 in her savings. And then she has a ticket from her canceled Italy trip. She's a culinary school dropout because her mom got sick. And which also, I love that she had like the classic rom-com. Like, nothing is more rom-com than like baker or chef
Yeah, or florist,
or
but
florist.
also nothing is more rom-com than like, oh, I almost completed it,
Yeah.
but I stopped right before.
But it's my passion still.
And I do love that later in the movie, when we finally see her make something, it's a dish where you put raw tomatoes on bread.
Yeah.
She made bruschetta. It's not hard to make.
No, during that scene I was wondering,
Doesn't take a chef.
I was like, is there a way to like make this like where someone would taste and it'd be like, oh, you're like really special at this, or is there a ceiling to how good it can be? Because ultimately it is. I mean, I'm sure that in Italy it's so good because it's the best ingredients.
Yes,
But it
but I
seems
also
more
think
about that.
in Italy, pretty hard to impress people who live there
I
with
would imagine, yeah.
their ingredients that they
Yeah.
use every day.
It would be like trying to impress a British person with your beans on toast.
With your
You'd be like,
soaking wet food.
you would say, "Look, I put these beautiful canned beans on a slice of white bread for you. Tell me what you think. Do you love my
And
my
they're like,
beans
this
on
is
toast?"
no one's ever made it so good.
And you said you couldn't cook, but look at these beans on toast.
But yeah, she does. She drops out of culinary school because her mom died. She tells her whole sob story about it to the guy. And then we really flash quickly to like the decision has been made. She's now in Italy, taking a
Specifically
bus to this guy's house.
yeah, in this guy's town. But guess what? It's the summer festival.
Oh no.
It's the summer festival.
How could she not know?
It's the summer festival, a very popular event. So there's no hotel rooms anywhere even close. So what do? What's a girl to do?
Breaking and entering.
You got to go to the guy's empty villa.
You
And
got to do a B&E.
luckily, even in Italy, people keep spare keys under a ceramic frog. So
Yeah, that was, I mean, it is funny once she, I again love that it's like a suspension of disbelief experience, this movie. But it is funny that she just like, it's just one old,
Yeah.
probably what I have to imagine is the easiest type of lock to pick. This like old skeleton
Yeah.
key type thing. It's like, give me a bobby pin and I'll be in there in a minute. This type of house, no security system. Give me a
Same.
fucking break.
No, I know. But that's the thing is like in rom-coms like this, I truly do want everything to be so easy. I want there
Yeah.
to essentially be like no conflict.
Yeah, almost no friction except for between the two leads.
Yeah, I just want everything to be like a very smooth line. But then even between the two leads, I never want it to get so far that like anyone gets truly upset, you know?
Yeah.
I want things to be like stopped, things to be revealed or whatever before anyone gets too upset. But
Yeah.
and the house is gorgeous.
Beautiful. And she has a great time until his mom and grandma come to clean it.
Yeah, which I was like, okay, how often are they doing this?
Yeah, if I were his mom and grandma, I'd be staying in that house. I mean, I guess
Right?
they have their own beautiful villa, but we didn't
Yeah,
see inside. We don't know what the inside of the villa is
that's
like.
true. Maybe that one is all run down. But no, because he had the money to buy this villa. But which where's the money coming from? They own a tiny restaurant in a small town.
Yeah, I mean, that's like a frictionless thing that is like just has to happen in these movies, but I do find myself counting everyone's money. I'm like, how are you guys all living this life in this
And
place?
and then conveniently, she finds an ugly engagement ring in a drawer.
Like the type of engagement ring that like a child would draw.
When it's like so ugly, but then I liked how like the Nona was like, my ring, and I'm like, there's no fucking way like an 80-something-year-old woman in Italy's ring would have been in a white metal. Are you kidding me?
That's some real jewelry store exclusive.
There's no
That's some
fucking
niche.
way.
That's some niche expertise that you're sharing as a jewelry
There's no
professional.
way. But it is. It's just like a brilliant cut in like a real basic bitch like platinum setting.
Yeah, it doesn't it yeah, and also I was a little like, well, why don't you have your ring? What do you mean your ring? Why is it in a drawer if it's your ring?
I mean, I guess she gave it to him to propose to that other girl.
That other girl, the cartoon, the racist cartoon of like Italian hussy.
Well, what I thought was very funny about her is that she's very, I mean, you've seen the animated Little Mermaid. You were a child.
The first movie I saw in theaters.
She's very Vanessa from The Little Mermaid.
Oh yeah, that's so funny.
So once
She
again,
really is.
once again, her main op is this like Vanessa
Is
from The Little
Ariel.
Mermaid type. But yeah, so she happens to have the ring. So then the mom's like, "Don't you see? She's engaged to Mateo." And she goes, yes. Yes.
Yeah, really optimistic of the mom, it feels like.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because Mateo also like went away like a year
Ghosted his
ago.
family.
Yeah, and then hasn't talked to them since. So it's not like they're like checking in and being like, "What the fuck?" And she's like,
Yeah.
He's coming in a few days." And they're like, "By the last day of the summer festival?" Is he coming by the last day of the summer festival?
Uh-huh. Yes, he is. And then she goes to a family dinner the next day, and
Which
that's
looks
where
so nice.
I mean, just like a dream.
Gorgeous. And then it turns out, oh, and also in the town before she went to the villa, she met Michael, who is Regé-Jean Page, and they had a slightly flirty, but like, you know.
But openly hostile
Yes,
interaction
yes.
about a sandwich.
And then it turns out he's part of the family. Who knew?
Who knew? I do like that she said you should be nice to me, worthy only, and then he like I can't remember what he interrupted her to say, but that reference of like we're the only black people in
Yeah.
this town I thought was very funny and like well placed, because that was a thing I was thinking was
Sure,
like,
and it's like,
Italy doesn't have like the most amazing reputation for how they treat other races.
sure, and I'm sure not in a rural small town.
And so it was nice to have that just like pointed out.
Sure, just like addressed, and then they can just move on and have their little Italian fantasy.
Perfect. It's perfect.
Yeah, so it turns out he's like the nephew of the mom, and then what do you know, his parents are dead too. So then they
They
adopted
have so
him.
much in common.
He's basically brothers with Mateo,
Yes.
but they're kind of enemies as well.
And what follows after this, I would say, almost doesn't need a recap because it is just typical rom-com, up and down, stuff happens.
Yeah.
They're forced together. They have to
Yes.
They
It's like
have their feelings.
her and Regé-Jean Page very openly are falling in love in front of everyone.
In front of everyone.
just like goo eyes in front of everyone. And then Mateo comes. And then Mateo shows up because the bitch ex-fiance called him. And so he shows up and he does have a normal reaction to a woman he met once.
I think
that is actually...
That is actually what this movie did really well, is like, for how heightened the fantasy is, every element of it is quite heightened, to like how Italians are treating people of other races in a rural town, to how the guy is reacting when she just is at his house pretending to be his fiance. The reactions are sane and exist in the same reality that we exist in. But then it just will like go, it's this.
Yeah.
They're not insane. It's fine. And
because
it, like,
also they do give her a reason for breaking and entering into the villa. Like, she does try. It's not first thought, best thought. She does try pretty hard to get hotels. And then she does ultimately try to go home after she initially lies about being the fiance. She does try to leave, but it would be $2,000 to change her ticket, and she doesn't have that.
It's like just the perfect balance of like, please suspend your disbelief to enjoy this fantasy, but you are in a safe pair of hands. We will not just like abandon you in something insane. We're guiding you through an experience that like is going to make sense to you and will allow you to like let go and feel light.
Yeah. Like, we'll acknowledge that like this guy is reasonably like, are you fucking insane? What is this? But then we're not gonna then follow the realistic thread of him being like, do you have borderline personality disorder? Are you a pathological liar? Who does this? This is an insane lie. Are you like, I'm scared of you? He's just kind of like, you know what? I understand your explanation. I accept that. And I can benefit from this too. Let's do it.
Yeah, he's somehow the most regulated man on earth. But they go back to the family. He's like, you're gonna tell them because they are already always mad at me, so I'm not gonna be the bad guy here. You have to tell them. She goes to tell them, and then he realizes how happy they are, and he's like, just kidding, we are in love. Let's continue the lie.
Yay. And then everyone continues being happy for a while.
Yeah. And, you know, there's some yada yada cooking stuff that happens that, like, this doesn't even feel, I know is the core thing that is about her character, but also doesn't feel important. It just feels important that it puts her in a place.
You know, sometimes rom-coms like this make me really think about how, like, if I ever found myself in a rom-com situation like this, I don't have, like, a skill that I could whip out that, like, ultimately is what, like, endears me to everyone in the, like, big finale way. I feel like in all rom-coms, the lady, like, it's like, oh, I can bake that cake for your brother's wedding that got smashed. I'm a really good pastry chef. There's always something. I don't have any of those skills.
Well,
I don't have any rom-com skills.
You don't have a physical skill, perhaps, but you know how to talk into a microphone on stage, and I think that could come in handy. What if the host of our big fundraiser died and we need someone? I don't think, maybe they didn't die. That's
maybe they're like really old and like mean.
Yeah, they hit their head and now they can't do the big fundraiser. Who will host this? We all have stage fright.
Oh, and then so like I MC some sort of like local auction at Christmas, and then my man watches me MCing and she's like, "Oh, she MCs so good."
Exactly.
I'm in love.
You do have a skill. Mine would have to be if a podcast producer died. I keep killing these characters. People don't die that much in rom-coms.
I just read a book that was kind of like a rom-com. It was kind of a mystery, but it was also kind of a rom-com about a podcast.
What was the book?
It's called This Story Might Save Your Life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Podcast rom-com.
It was mostly a mystery. It was more of a mystery, but then it is
Podcast
like
mystery
kind of
rom-com.
rom-com. Yeah. They fall in love. The podcasters fall in love.
Finally, podcasting gets the respect it deserves.
But yeah, so she cooks, and then it turns out, so Mateo at one point is like, they're so happy, let's like actually get married.
Yeah, which then she is correct in being like, are you insane? No.
Even though it would be cool to be able to like stay there. I mean, she gets to later for better reasons, but it's like, is that the worst thing?
I know, yeah.
Especially if she can get him to do no prenup.
There you go. He's clearly rich.
But then it turns out he's cheating on her with Isabella /
Which
Vanessa.
is like not cheating, but he's not being very discreet about
I guess, yeah,
it,
to Michael.
given the situation.
Michael is like, oh, he's cheating because he still thinks that they're engaged.
And during that final sequence at the last day of the summer festival.
Last day of the summer festival!
I like that Isabella, is that her name, the other woman?
Mm-hmm.
I like that Isabella is dressed like the flamenco emoji.
I loved her dress. I thought she looked so beautiful and hot.
I was like, okay. I mean, it just sort of is like, again, further. I know flamenco is not Italian, but it just to the American mind, it's all Europe, And so I did think it was funny to even make her into an Italian cartoon. I mean, you only see her twice or 3 times. You see her in jeans at one point, which is like whatever. That she looks great.
That was a really cool outfit.
The first time you see her, she's dressed like a tablecloth at a rustic winery. And then you see her in her flamenco dancer dress. Just like, this lady is a cartoon.
And she looked gorgeous people. And also was the only person wearing like a floor-length gown to the last day of the summer festival.
Yeah, everyone else was in like streetwear.
Okay, that actually does bring me to something I needed to bring up. Because during that same day, last day of the summer festival, of course, no, sorry, this was not the last day of the summer festival. This was the barrel race day.
Yes. Which barrel racing also a sport that already exists and is different. So that's it's funny.
Is it different? Is it not that?
Barrel racing is horses. You ride a horse and you it's a rodeo sport. You ride horses around barrels and do it faster than everybody else.
Well, they just pushed some barrels. They rolled some barrels. Maybe called it barrel rolling. Anyways, they had Halle Bailey, whose name is Brianna / Anna, as they call her, in an outfit, specifically in a yellow cardigan, where I was very
skirt.
The cardigan in particular, I just want to talk to whoever put that on her and made her wear that for multiple scenes. I don't have a gun. I just want to talk normal style. I'm not mad.
And we talk.
I'm not mad. I just have questions about why was that cardigan even an option in the costume department? Why was it chosen? Why was it kept on? It was the ugliest fucking garment I've ever seen in my life.
It's just like, they had her in a lot of flowy things, and I liked that choice. Like, I do think that's realistic, right?
I liked it when it was like the oversized shirts and stuff.
But it is interesting that cardigan was like not appropriate for someone her age.
No, it was the most like Chico's ass thing I've ever seen in my life.
I don't think I'm going to pull you back from this a little bit, because it's okay to dress like that. And Chico's has some stuff that's fine. I'm at the thrift stores. I see some Chico stuff. It's not so bad. It's just that, yeah, it was not appropriate on her. It like didn't make sense for her character. Her character would not have worn that. Like, she clearly had a pretty defined sense of style that didn't include a grandmother's flowy cardigan. There are just also like other variations of like a flowy garment that isn't a collared shirt. There are just other
Yeah.
variations that could have worked. It's like, I think the thing that really made that cardigan look crazy was because I noticed it too and was like, this doesn't, I mean, I also just like the khaki skirt. I also was like, it looks like a child drew like a rectangle skirt. You know what I mean? It was like very kind of rigid and long and weird shaped. The whole outfit, I mean, the shirt was fine. She's hot. Like, she looks good in that shirt, but not the sweater and not the skirt. The whole outfit choice was like something went wrong with what she was originally supposed to be wearing in this
Like,
scene.
why did they do that to our girl?
It doesn't make sense. These items don't really make sense for this character to like own and be carrying around.
No, they don't make sense with what everyone else is wearing. In the middle of summer in Italy.
I know. There
Why
were so
is she
many
wearing
scenes.
a cardigan at all?
There were so many scenes where I was like, I know it's hot as fuck right now. Like, these people are in these like traditional long sleeve like layered garments with like vests and
I love that
velvet
random
vests.
scene where she just goes to the house and everyone is just sort of like dressed like a Medici. And it's just like not addressed, and then later they're not.
It's so weird. But the barrel race happens, and then we get to the last day of the festival, and we find out that the father of the family fell and hit his head? Question mark.
He hit his head.
He also, everything was such cartoon choices. He had a bandage around his head that was like what you draw on Bugs Bunny.
So that we don't forget he hit his head.
And so she has to cook the last day of the festival meal. She cooks grits and shrimp, right? It's like shrimp and grits and some vegetables.
And everyone loves it.
Everyone loves it. I do believe grits is polenta, isn't it? It's the same thing.
I don't know, but that sounds right.
Polenta is an Italian. I just was like, why? She would know to say polenta to these people.
Okay, one of the little bits of realism that they snuck in there was like when she's first in the kitchen, she keeps throwing a bunch of shit out because she is always like, I haven't cooked in forever. I haven't cooked in years. I haven't cooked in years. And so her first couple attempts at things, she's like, oh, this is bad, throws it out. And then it's not like, I haven't cooked in years. And here is this perfect dish. It's like there's a couple attempts and then she figures it out.
Yeah, and I liked that a lot. I thought that made a lot of sense.
Yeah. And Matteo's nowhere to be seen.
Yes, because he's busy snogging. He's snogging that other lady. And then there's a big fight in the end because Michael, I'm bad with this. I do have a rom-com problem where none of the characters have names to me.
Yeah, the names don't. I feel like I only knew because they said the names a lot in this, especially her name. Like they said her name a lot.
Yes, and they said Matteo a lot.
Yeah.
Michael confronts Matteo about cheating on her. And then everyone just spills the truth. She ends up confessing to the family that she was lying. And, there's a fight, yada, yada. some stuff happens.
She leaves, goes to the villa, very slowly packs her little tiny bags.
Yes. And the least convenient bags I've ever seen, too.
I'm like,
just like that huge duffel bag hitting her thigh on every step she takes seems so annoying.
And then she calls her Lorenzo. That's his name, right?
Oh, I loved him. Yes.
Lorenzo. Oh, and I loved his little ponytail.
And his Adidas wardrobe.
And he keeps being like, so romantic, so romantic. He drives her to the bus stop. She misses the bus.
Classic.
You
A
gotta
classic
miss the bus in
scenario.
a rom-com. You must miss the bus.
And so I guess her plan there is wait for 24 hours for tomorrow's bus at the dirt road bus stop. And then Grandma Nonna shows up and convinces her that she must go for what she believes in, which is Michael. She loves Michael.
Also, Nona was the one who was suspicious of her all along.
Yeah, and in any other movie I would not have liked that character at all, but for some reason, again, the way this movie was heightened, it was acceptable. The way that character was kind of weird and irritating.
And then Anna goes, but how, they must all hate me. And then Nona goes, turn around.
And they are all standing there.
Including Mateo.
Yeah, Mateo, who like has just a dramatic turn in how he's acting towards her. He's like, oh, you scamp.
So then it's all very choreographed, where it's like the whole family's there and we go, and they go, we love actually, we love you.
And then
go
we cut
get Michael.
to
Car commercial.
The Maserati commercial.
And you know what? Damn if that thing doesn't go fast. Sure does. It
now,
sure does.
None of the choices that this character has made up until this point make me think that I would trust her driving, but that's okay.
Also, she grew up in New York. She does not know how to drive.
No, she grew up in Atlanta.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're right.
It comes up at one point.
Yes.
But you are right. Like if she had grown up in New York,
I have a question. In Italy, are their driver and passenger seats on the same sides as ours?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, because that was something I was wondering. Because in the movie they are.
I think it's only... No, I'm not going to say something that I am maybe wrong about. I'm pretty sure it's like mainly the UK and Ireland.
Okay, because I was wondering.
I think there are some other countries too, but like I don't think that Mediterranean chunk, that those countries do the same thing as us.
But yeah, I think he literally goes, first my villa, now my Maserati. What are you gonna take next? Something, I don't know, but
it was corny, but it was acceptable. We accept the corniness of that part.
And Michael also runs like a bunch of vineyards. Like that's his thing. It was like his
parents, he runs a vineyard. He makes wine. Excuse me. And then, perfect climactic scene. She runs through the vineyard, singing. Oh, I just remembered the singing.
The La Serenade.
She's serenading him. He serenaded her earlier in the movie, and it was like a whole thing about how this is a family tradition, and when you do the serenade, all of your crimes are forgiven.
And they were just like, no, Michael, sing to her. Sing her any love song. And
he
like,
sings
no,
Mario, You Should Let Me Love You, and which they were listening to in the car, so it made sense. It wasn't like fully out of the blue, but I was a little struck in the scene where he sang, where she was like, you were really good. And I was like, no, he wasn't.
It's okay. It's all right.
But she creeps under the vines in a way that felt really insane and silly, singing Mario's You Should Let Me Love You.
That whole scene, I was like, okay, thank God he does forgive her, because this would be humiliating. He did it.
Just brutal. But he does in fact forgive her, and they kiss. And then they did a bit earlier in the movie where they are running through the vineyard, and then they get rained on, or not rain, the sprinklers go off, and he takes off his shirt to help her protect her edges for her hair. And then a tour bus is like sitting there, and they're, it's like a middle-aged white women being horny about him. And then
where can I sign up for that tour?
And then in the end, it was like the same bit but with two black ladies on vacation, and they were like hollering at him, and it was so funny. It was
It was
so
very funny.
fun.
Well, because she's like, "Oh no, this is fine. I have something to tell you, even if it does ruin my edges." And then one of the women is like, "Girl, he is not that fine." And then the other one is like, "Yes, he is."
It was
um,
really, really funny,
it was very
and like
funny.
a perfect way to end it.
And well, then they cut to a month later
Sure, where she cooked a
because
meal.
we need to know that everything's working out. And she's running the restaurant now. The dad with the head injury is retired. She's running the restaurant. Her and Michael are together. She's cooking in like 5-inch heels. Mateo and Isabella are together and just there, and everyone's happy and having a nice time.
Yes, happily ever after in the Disneyland version of Italy.
And I I just love that, like, I think it's beautiful in rom-coms like this, like no one cares that she did like a big elaborate lie. I think that's beautiful.
She committed fraud.
Yeah. Like the mom is even like when they see her at the bus stop, she's like, family doesn't lie to each other. And then they all tell a little secret. And then the sister's like, I regret having an affair with Luigi, the plumber. Just kidding. It's a joke.
I just remembered that there's one, like, I think I like really hooted and hollered when she made this joke. When the sister is like, something, something late, like my period. And I was like, what? That, if that's a real piece of information, it has like huge consequences.
She was very funny. Also, I realized that I just in my impression of the sister, I think I actually was doing Rocky, and I don't think the sister said is joke. I think Rocky said is joke. I don't think the sister said is
No,
joke.
I think she went, it's a joke.
And I'm imagining her doing Rocky is joke. Same thing. Yeah, so it's a month later. Oh my God, also there's a mini pig in 2 scenes. Loved him.
Oh, I immediately thought of you when I was
Yeah,
like,
I
a
was like,
mini pig. This movie is
pig.
for Emily.
I thought it was funny that the mini pig had a little harness on both times, like I guess to show it was a pet, but like it wasn't attached to a leash. So like it could have not been wearing the harness at all. Could have been wearing a little collar. That would have been cute.
I did like when we first see the mini pig and Anna bends down and is like greeting it. And then, Isabella meets her. And there's just that one line where Isabella goes, the pig likes her. Such a funny burn. I think this movie is so funny. Okay. Sorry, listeners, I'm sorry. I've been struggling with a cough this whole time. I feel that I just want to say, and maybe I'm just saying this so that I can cut it for a clip later. I strongly recommend this movie. I think that it is, one, worth supporting, because going to this movie is the only way that more rom-coms will be put in theaters. And also, not to do a like my fellow white people type of thing, but I do think like a movie poster with 2 black leads on it, sometimes like I don't know what's wrong with us, but we just like don't think that's for us or something. And I just strongly recommend this movie. It's like totally fun. You're not like left out of jokes or whatever, like whatever the concern is that maybe it's like not for you or something because you see it has 2 black leads. This movie is so fun and is for everyone and is just like so joyful and delightful. And that's my impassioned speech to please go see this movie in theaters.
Yes, it's just a delightful time. Like
charming. It's like a charm bomb.
I was gonna say how much I just appreciated seeing something on the big screen with like saturated colors and like,
yes,
like it was also very fun to look at. Like,
yeah, big time. And it kind of reminded me of the feelings I got from like the rom-coms I love. My top 3. just because I gotta squeeze them in. I gotta squeeze them in this recording. My top 3 rom-coms: My Big Fat Greek Wedding, just a blast, just so
Mhm.
fun, big crazy family. You've Got Mail, Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan classic, sort of a, you know, 90s hipster classic, but also an AOL chat room classic, and you know I was in those AOL chat rooms. But my ultimate favorite is French Kiss. Have you ever seen that
Oh,
one?
no, I've never even heard of
Okay.
it.
I don't, it's not like some indie. It was in theaters. It was popular. There are tons of DVDs floating around, but for whatever reason, it's not available to stream or buy anywhere. Like, I don't know if some rights thing happened where nobody can have access. I've seen like chatter about this movie on Reddit before that people are like, why the fuck can you not access this movie? It stars Meg Ryan. It's a Meg Ryan rom-com.
Weird.
Um it's Meg Ryan and Kevin Kline is the lead, and the premise is Meg Ryan is an American who is trying to get citizenship in Canada because she is engaged to a Canadian man. And he travels to France, to Paris for something. Don't question mark, don't remember why he goes there, and meets a Parisian woman and falls in love. And he like leaves her. He calls her and breaks up with her over the phone and says, I'm not coming back. And then she chases him to Paris and meets Kevin Kline, who I believe is a pickpocket. I think Kevin Kline robs her. But they proceed to like have adventures and fall in love while she's chasing after her fiance. And there's like, this whole through line about like how mysterious and sexy French women are, and how it's kind of not real, and like that they're just pouting and tricking you, and Meg Ryan can't access those skills. And it's just so, it's like the perfect, similar to this, the perfect
Yeah.
like European romp,
Mm.
suspension of disbelief. Like, there's a lot more reality in that one. Like, bad stuff happens, but it's not like gritty or realistic. It's just kind of like the real world seeps in.
Yeah.
And it's so fun. I love it so much. And please, someone put it on streaming somewhere, please. I can't find it.
Yeah, I was having a hard time thinking of my favorite rom-coms because I feel like for some reason they don't stick with me as much. And then
Yeah.
like I enjoy them when I'm watching them, but I never seek them out. And I think it's like the really just like uh bubblegum like candy fun ones, I think I just don't seek out, but I enjoy when I'm seeing them. Then the ones that might actually get to me, I think I'm almost like scared of because I'm like, oh, sometimes when I'm watching them now, I'm like, oh no, that'll never happen to me.
Oh no.
I'll never have that. I'm, oh no. But I, yeah, I guess I would put My Big Fat Greek Wedding
It's
because
just so
it's
fun.
just so funny and fun. Um, And then I've only seen it like twice and I saw it pretty late, but like I did really like When Harry Met Sally when I
Oh
saw
yeah,
it.
that's a perfect
And
one.
that one did really get me where I did find it like very romantic.
Yeah. I mean, that's like the blueprint for like the good romantic
Mm.
comedy.
Um, I haven't seen it in so long, but I think I really like, and I'm sure I would still like it if I rewatched it, like 10 Things I Hate About You.
I don't know if I've ever watched that one.
I mean, Heath Ledger is just so like
Yeah.
electric.
Yeah.
Um,
I've certainly seen clips of him in it.
Yeah, he's just so charming and like because I definitely watch the most rom-coms and the time of year where I will just watch any fucking rom-com that's put in front of me is Christmas.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's because of that like comfort factor where it's like it just goes with the vibe of Christmas. So like
Yeah.
I will watch any Christmas rom-com. Um the only one I can remember in recent times thinking was like weirdly randomly good was something from Tiffany's. It was like an Amazon original, but like
Huh.
it was like that one I thought was weirdly good.
I love that.
Yeah. It was like better than it had a right to be,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, totally. You know, what you were just talking about made something click for me that has never clicked before, which is that did the entire machine of rom-com production shift to Christmas rom-coms only?
Maybe. Yeah.
Because a fuck ton of those come out every year, and I don't like them. I mean, it's like I will watch the ones that are actually good, that like people point out are actually good, but so many of them are intentionally bad
Yeah.
in a way that I'm like, I don't like stuff that is intentionally bad is like a real sore spot for me, because I'm just like, but you could just make it good if you are like aware
Totally.
of what makes something bad. You could just make something good.
Yeah.
Like Hot Frosty, I mean that sent me into like a depressive episode at how popular it was, and then how terrible it was,
So
and so
bad.
many talented people were in it, and I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. Yeah. Because if they just made like one actually pretty good one for every three bad ones, like
Yeah.
that would. There was also another, I forget what, I think it was called like. This one I feel more ashamed saying I thought was weirdly kind of good than like something from Tiffany's, because I think more people agree that something from Tiffany's was like kind of good,
Yeah.
but this one is just like cheesy ass like Hallmark, but I think it was made by Netflix. It's called like A Biltmore Christmas or something, and like this
And it's
woman,
that house in Asheville.
yeah, this woman somehow she's at this hotel and then she goes back in time. She gets put back in time into a movie that was shot there and
Weird.
falls in love with like the lead. And it's
Okay.
kind of weird, but I was like kind of surprised by how not bad it was.
I mean, that I think that can happen. Like sometimes those, it's just interesting that that the entire, it does feel to me like 90% of the rom-com production over the last like 5 years or so has shifted to Christmas.
Yeah, which is weird because it feels like this, the summer rom-com is also such a genre, but it's a genre that's like been neglected. But it's like
Yeah.
the sun-drenched uh location rom-com, which I guess a lot of
Totally.
people consider the Mamma Mia's rom-coms, which I guess
I was going to
I
ask you if you considered those rom-com. I've never
I
seen them.
I guess they kind of technically are because in the first one it's between Donna and the guy,
Hmm.
whereas then Amanda Seyfried is like already has her guy, and then in the second one there's like it goes back to young Donna and she's
Yeah.
essentially in like a rom-com kind of. So like I guess I've never really thought of those as rom-coms. If they are, they're two of my top three.
Okay. I mean, that
I they're my favorites. But maybe I was thinking of rom-coms too narrowly or something, where I was like, oh, my favorite rom-com has to be rom-coms where the love story I think is really good. And maybe that's why I didn't think of like My Big Fat Greek Wedding, because it's like I don't love that movie because I think like their story is so romantic or it touches me or anything. But I'm like,
right.
I think if we expand it to like no, just like rom-coms and you just like the movie, that's a much bigger pool for me to pull
Yeah.
from.
Yeah. That makes sense. Well, listen, put more rom-coms in theaters. Stop dropping them onto streaming.
Yeah, because I
That
think you're so
that is
right
what I
about like
beg.
people we meet on vacation. Like, And I know you read the book, right? You read Emily Henry books.
Yeah, I've read a lot of them, but I don't think there are a few I have missed, but I find her books to be completely unchallenging and fun. It's like if I read something that put me in a slump, she's one of the writers I know I can go to like fix it, right? Turn the ship back
Yeah.
around.
'Cause like I kind of liked it. I didn't love it, but like I do think that I do think the friends who for some reason just never quite get together and then eventually do, I think
Yeah.
that is a version of rom-com that I do seem to like a lot. Like that's what Plus One
Yeah.
is that I watched last night again.
I mean, and that feels truer to life than like
Yeah.
people you hate becoming someone, you
Yeah.
know. I just haven't not experienced much enemies to lovers stuff in the real world, but um
I
yeah,
think
I
if
mean,
someone was really mean to me, I think I would have a hard time like forgetting about that, you know?
yeah.
Like if there was a
Yeah.
guy whose like first instinct was to be really rude to me, I think like I would just like remember that sometimes and be like, "Oh, I don't like that this guy has this capacity to be mean to me."
Yeah, this is sort of revealing about him. um yeah, definitely. And I just think I didn't like People We Meet on Vacation, and I think I would have in theaters.
Mm,
I I think that's just a big problem I have, that like if I'm watching a streaming movie, it has got such an uphill battle. Like just when
yeah.
I am inside my house, I'm like my heart is not open. I'm not open to
Yeah.
what the movie is doing.
I mean, it's everything is so about how it's presented. Like, you know, when like they'll do those like tests where they put like a grocery store like boxed wine against like a fancy wine and try to like fool
Yeah.
wine people, and it's like all about the presentation or whatever.
Yeah.
That's how it is with movies too. It's like if you're giving it to people on a platter in the room where it's like it's all about the movie. Like we all came here to watch this movie. Of
Yeah.
course you're gonna feel more strongly about it than if you just are like scrolling Netflix and just like, okay, I guess I'll try this while you're on your phone.
And I'm not even being like a film bro about it or saying like, I think that some people are like, oh, I just prefer for something to come out on streaming. I just like, I don't want to leave my house. Whatever the reason is, I think it's fine if that's the way people feel. But I do think like the movies that I have memories of, that I attach like emotional connection to, I've never watched one at home where that happens.
Yeah.
Like it's only in theaters that I really have that experience. And so I don't know. I don't know why rom-coms can't make it into theaters, but like I'm not going to be seeing Colleen Hoover movies. So
No.
in terms of like women's entertainment, like they're missing a huge segment of the population who's like never going to give a fuck about a Colleen Hoover, abuse
Yeah.
narrative movie.
Yeah. I think it's also like it has to do with sort of like the the waning of theaters, and that like it's sort of like what chicken egg situation where it's like if the only movies that like people think you go to the theater to see are like the
Yeah.
big serious event movies, that's not that's not how theaters like survive. Theaters survive by it being like an activity where you're just like, oh, let's just like go see that like fun new movie. That'll be fun.
Yeah, that it
And
becomes like a regular rotation in your life and
yeah,
not just like something you do 3 times a year from when Marvel releases something or
and I
whatever.
get that like ticket prices are really high and stuff, but I'm like,
Yeah.
AMC Stubs is a really good deal. Or
I
like,
mean,
I
it
don't
is a
know.
really good deal.
There's like
And
half price tickets all the time if you don't have, I don't know. I like that with rom-coms it just becomes like an activity for people and not just like, oh, people like us who want to see everything so that we know the conversation and so we'll just go see everything in theaters. Like, that's not most people, but I like rom-coms just bringing out, like, yeah, like a group of friends being like, what should we do? And it's like, let's go see the rom-com and like get drinks.
Totally. And I like the friend that I had a friend come with me to see You, Me, and Tuscany, and it's a friend that I haven't had that much one-on-one hang time with, that was able to come and like said like, oh, I'm happy to be your rom-com buddy. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, there are people who want to do this, and it is like a fun communal experience. And I want to, you know, I mean, it's like half the reason we're doing the podcast is like, we're excited about movies, and it's fun to like convince the people around us to reinvest back into this thing.
Yeah.
This ecosystem that exists for us to feel communal with each other and make real memories of like around media that is fun, that we love. That's our impassioned speech about comes in theaters. Anything else?
I think that's it.
Okay, guys, you have to go see this movie in theaters, please. We need
Yeah.
them to release more.
We need at least like a rom-com in theaters a month, I think.
Yes.
Would bring,
I think
it's like the
there needs to be
theater
that cycle again.
film ecosystem is kind of just a little dead, and to be a healthy ecosystem, you need to have everything.
Exactly. So, okay, I hope you guys liked it, and have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.
That was our episode on You, Me, and Tuscany. Thank you for listening. And if you're liking the show, tell a friend, text a friend the link. That is the best way for us to get new listeners, and we want those. Little secret, we want them. So you can also follow us on Instagram. You can subscribe to the podcast. We're on YouTube, and we are doing Mother Mary next week. So we will see you then. Thanks for listening.
Medium Literate was created and produced by Monika Scott and Emily Faye. Our theme music was composed by Christian Larson, and technical help is from Alex Luchin. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you at the movies.